As you were at the top of the table over in League One, as Birmingham remained top of the pops despite dropping points this past weekend. There's advantage though Wrexham as they close in onto top spot, and who of course is in the playoffs. We'll take a look at that and more next. That's right, folks, back once again another push video today. It's all about match day number 24, that's right, as we exit 2024 and enter 2025. Who's in the driving seat and who, of course, is heading down to League 2? We'll take a look at that, of course, in a minute. If you knew where you've been, subscribe, smash the like. Your one-stop shop League 1 is right here, boys and girls. At the moment, it is Birmingham, it is Wrexham who are going up to the Championship, but Wycombe are within striking distance of back into that top two with, of course, the games on New Year's Day. Who's joining them in the playoffs? I'll show you that in a minute. Big shout out to the members, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the Patreons, you know who you are. But what we're going to do now is revisit those last games of 2024 and look forward to the first games of 2025. Alrighty then, let's take a look then at, of course, the Rub of the Green from the last round of games in 2024. Look at that, big win for Charlton. They are in this, guys, they are definitely in this. Under Nathan Jones, 2-1 win over Wycombe, who of course take a tumble out of the top two. Rotherham also with an important point against Stockport County with a 1-1 draw. Birmingham and Blackpool duked it out to a 0-0 draw in the Stevie Bruce derby. Bolton with a 3-0 win over Lincoln. They are also back in the discussion as well for the playoffs. Exeter City 4, Crawley 4 in the game of the day. 8 goals in that one. Meanwhile, Huddersfield and Burton also 1-1 draw. Gary Bowyer's Burton with a crucial point on the road, an unexpected point on the road. But keep an eye on Leyton Orient. They are cooking with gas right now. 2-0 winners for the Orient under Richie Wellens. Peterborough, though, what's gone wrong with them? I think he could be on his way out, Mr. Fergie, with a 3-1 win for Barnsley there. Reading with a 2-1 win over Mansfield. Big win for them to keep themselves in the top 6. Shrewsbury with a 1-1 draw against Northampton Town. And Stevenage, massive win over struggling Bristol Rovers. Wrexham got it late with a 2-1 win over Wigan. All right then, folks, take a look at the table. The table looks like this right here, right now, with Birmingham 1 point clear of Wrexham in second spot, who 1 point clear over Wycombe in third. Huddersfield Town are in fourth. Within 4 points, or maybe 5 points, sorry, of the top two. Then don't keep an eye on Stockport, Reading. There's a bit of a gap between themselves in the race for automatics, but of course, I think right now they're looking at maintaining their playoff push at the moment, because currently it is Stockport and Reading in those top 4 playoff spots right now, with Barnsley, Bolton on the outside looking in, potentially getting in there as we enter 2025. That's right. Bolton, Charlton, of course, could also make a push as well. Bolton have games in hand and also could make it very difficult. Going down, though, is still Burton. Got a lot of work for Gary Bowyer, and hopefully, if they do go down, they give him whatever he needs next season to bounce back, because I think they've got a good coach there. Shrewsbury the same. Gareth Ainsworth. Hopefully he's able to stick around regardless. I actually like all three of the guys at the bottom there. Gary Monk, Ainsworth, and Burton, Gary Bowyer. But it's still pretty much up for grabs, do you think? As long as if the teams can get some points down the bottom, because Bristol Rovers, Northampton Town, Peterborough, even Rotherham are not out of the woods just yet. Now, again, don't forget to get the predictions in. We are still going with it. I'll bring you back up today once we get to the FA Cup round. That'll be a week or so. I can get you bang up to date and bring you bang up to speed with all that. Anyway, these are the next round of games, and we've got some absolute crackers in here, and we could have a new leader at the end of this match, and of course the first leader of 2025. We're going to start with a trip to Oakwell as Barnsley take on Wrexham. It'll be a bit of a ding-dong classic over in Yorkshire. So, will Wrexham take full advantage? Well, we'll see. Barnsley under Darryl Clark, 50% form for them right now. Not been the greatest fan of Darryl Clark, but he actually has got a bit of form right now with 3 wins in the last 4. They sit 7th, 36 points for the campaign. Up against Wrexham under Phil Parkinson. They are second right now, 48 points for the campaign. They're unbeaten in at least the last 6 games. Played each other 5 times since 2003. We've got 1 win for Barnsley. There's been 3 wins for Wrexham, and there's been just the 1 draw between these two sides. Last time they played over at Barnsley, it was a 2-2 draw back in April 2005. Goodness gracious me. They also played each other this season in Wales. It was a 1-0 win for Wrexham earlier in the month of December. Barnsley, though, on the back of that 3-1 win at Peterborough. Wrexham left it late, but they did pick up a win over Wigan to make it back-to-back wins in their own backyard. In fact, 3 back-to-back wins in their own backyard. The odds for this one, 13-10 is your Barnsley, 15-8 is your Wrexham, 12-5 is the draw. I am leaning towards Wrexham on this one. We go with the 2-1 win. Barnsley seem to peak when you don't expect it, and then, of course, fumble when you least expect it as well. And their form is good. I just fancy Wrexham at the moment because they just seem to be nicking games, playing ugly, playing scrappy, and getting all 3 points. And they've got to keep up the heat. Meanwhile, Blackpool up against Shrewsbury. Bit of a ding-dong classic over at Bloomfield Road. Blackpool under Steve Bruce without a win, though, in the last 4 matches. 15th in the table, 28 points for the campaign. Up against Shrewsbury under Gareth Ainsworth, who are unbeaten in the last 3, but they are 23rd in the table with 16 points for the campaign. They've played each other 14 times, these two clubs, since 2014. 3 wins for Blackpool, 8 wins for Shrewsbury. There have been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at Blackpool was a 4-0 win for the Tangerines back in November 2023. They also played each other this campaign in Shrewsbury. Blackpool coming out on top on that one. In fact, Blackpool won 3 on the spin against Shrewsbury, but they're coming into this on the back of a 0-0 draw against the Birmingham, of course. Shrewsbury on the back of a 1-1 draw against Northampton Town, which is a good point, but realistically, they should have been winning those kind of games. The odds here, though, 20-11 on is your Blackpool, 10-3 is the draw, 4-1 is your your long shots. That is Shrewsbury. It is, of course, Stevie Bruce. It is Gareth Ainsworth in the dugouts. I'm going to go with a victory for the Tangerines on this one to really give them a bit of a push up the table, perhaps, and maybe even start to think about challenging for those playoff spots, but there's still a lot of work for them to do. Meanwhile, Bristol Rovers under a new management up against Leyton Orient, a team I think you don't want to be playing right here, right now. Bristol Rovers under Igneo Calderon. They are 20th for the table, 22 points for the campaign. They're winless in the last 5 matches. Up against the Orient, managed by Richie Wellens. They've won 5 of the last 6. In fact, they're unbeaten, though, in the last 8 matches. They played each other 28 times since 2003, 11 wins apiece and 6 draws between the two sides. The last time they played over at Bristol was a 1-1 draw back in November 2023. The Orient picking up a 3-0 win over Bristol Rovers earlier in the month at Brisbane Road. They've only lost once, have Bristol Rovers against Leyton Orient in the last 4 matches. However, Bristol Rovers on the back of that 3-0 loss to Stevenage. Leyton Orient with a 2-0 win over Cambridge. Back-to-back home wins. In fact, 3 wins on the spin. What we're looking at at least six clean sheets on the spin for the Orient here. The odds for this one then, shall we? We're looking at Bristol Rovers 5-2 for the victory. 21-20 is your Leyton Orient. 23-10 is the draw. I think I should have given at least Orient a point on this one. Yeah, I've gone with a 1-1 draw. But if there's going to be a winner, it's going to be the Orient, by no doubt. But I just feel new manager bounce will kind of dent them a little bit. But the Orient will continue their unbeaten run. That's all I can say. Meanwhile, Burton up against Peterborough, coming at you over at the Pirelli. That's right. Gary Bowyer's Burton up against Darren Ferguson's Peterborough. Played each other 17 times in 2005. 5 wins for Burton, 8 wins for Peterborough. 4 draws between the two sides. Burton haven't won in the last 6 matches. They're on 17% form for them right now. 13 points for the campaign. 24th in the table. Up against Peterborough, Darren Ferguson, 18th in the table. 24 points for the campaign. 3 defeats on the spin. Last time they played each other, of course, at Burton, it was a 3-1 win for Peterborough back in March 2024. They've also played each other this campaign over at Posh. It was a 1-0 win for Burton, goodness gracious me. Important win that was. Can they do the double? 17-10 is your Burton, 6-4 is your Peterborough, 23-10 is the draw. I'm going with it. I'm going to go with the double. They're going to do the double over Peterborough here. 2-1 win. Gary Bowyer gets his first W in my eyes. Meanwhile, Cambridge up against Reading over at Cambridge. That's right. Gary Monk's Cambridge, 22nd in the table, 17 points for the campaign. They are winless, though, in the last 5. Up against Noel Hunt and Reading, who are on back-to-back wins. And maybe, just maybe, they're going to do this. Of course, Reading, of course, with the biggest handicap going, no money, no nothing. 6th in the table, 37 points for the campaign. They played each other 3 times since 2023. 1 win for Cambridge, 2 for Reading. There's been 0 draws in that short space of time. Last time they played each other at this very venue, it was a 1-0 win for Cambridge back in September 2023. They played each other at the Matchday back in the start of the month. It was a 3-0 win for Reading. It seems like the away side doesn't even get a sniff in this game, of course, in the last 3 encounters, with the away side yet to score. Reading, though, on the back of a 2-1 win over Mansfield. The last away match was a 2-0 loss to Lincoln, so they're not playing that well on the road. Cambridge, the last home match was a stuffing by Huddersfield, and it could be a similar case here. 6-4 is your Cambridge, 31-20. Your Reading, 5-2 is the draw. I like Gary Monk. I think he's he'll do well for Cambridge in the long term, but I think right here, right now, they might be just a little bit too far for them to save their season. 2-0 win, though. Reading remain in the top 6. Meanwhile, Crawley are giving a bit of a fight for themselves up against Charlton over at Crawley. Rob Elliott's boys are 21st in the table, 20 points for the campaign. They're winless, though, in the last 4, just 1 win in the last 6. Charlton and Nathan Jones, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 9th, 33 points for the campaign, and have played Crawley 6 times since 2016. There's been 3 wins apiece, 0 draws between the two sides. The last time they played competitively, when I say competitively, I mean in the EFL Trophy Southern, that was back in September 2020. 2023. Crawley coming out top with a 4-3 win. Meanwhile, Crawley did beat Charlton at the Valley at the start of the month. It was a 2-1 win for Crawley, and that was a back-to-back wins for Crawley against Charlton. Crawley, though, on the back of that 8-goal thriller, 4-4 against Exeter. They've actually shipped those 7 goals in the last 2 games combined. Charlton on the back of successive home wins, but 3 wins on the spin, in fact, including a big 5-0 win over Northampton Town the last time they were on the road. Pretty beastly of Charlton of late. The odds for this one, Crawley 12-5 for the victory. Even Stevens is your Charlton, 13-5 is the draw. It's the battle of the seas, guys. Going to go with a 2-1 win Charlton, again, making a push for that top 6. Meanwhile, Lincoln up against Rotherham. 2 sides I think have kind of, not really done as expected for me this season. Lincoln and Marco Scabula ended last season in tremendous form, but they're actually just on 50% form right now. 12th in the table, 31 points for the campaign. Back-to-back defeats. Up against Rotherham under Steve Evans. I think he realistically, as soon as I think he's about to get sacked, they win a game. They're actually winless in the last 3, 17th in the table, 24 points for the campaign. They played each other 17 times since 2008. Just 2 wins for Lincoln, 14 wins for Rotherham. Has been 1 draw. So if there's ever a game you would think Rotherham would win, it would be this one. The last time they played over at Lincoln competitively, it was a 1-1 draw back in September 2021. They also played at the New York Stadium back at the start of the month. It was 2-1 win for Rotherham on that one. The Millers are on the back of a 1-1 draw against Stockport, with Lincoln on the back of the Imps on the back of that 3-0 loss to Bolton. Back-to-back away losses for them, back-to-back away games without a goal as well. The odds here, 2019 on Lincoln are favoured here, 13-5 the draw, 5-2 is the away win. I might have gone with a draw here. It feels like it could be a draw, or it does feel like a Lincoln win here. See, 2-2. Desmond, 2-2 on this one. Bit of a thriller at Central Bank for me, in my eyes. Meanwhile, Mansfield up against Bolton, coming at you over at Mansfield. Just when I thought Mansfield were done, they come right back in the thick of things, don't they? Up against Bolton under Ian Everett. They played each other 5 times in 2016. 1 win for Mansfield, 3 for Bolton. There's been 1 draw between the 2 sides. Mansfield are in 11th with 31 points for the campaign. Just 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against Bolton under Ian Everett. Of course, 1 win in the last 4. They are 8th. 34 points on the table as well. Just 3 points separate the 2 sides in the division. 5 times they have played since 2016. 1 win for Mansfield, 3 for Bolton. 1 draw between the 2 sides. The last time they played competitively at this very venue, it was a 3-2 win for Bolton back in February 2021. They've already played each other twice this season. Both of those times at Bolton. One was in the Cup back in August. It was a 5-4 penalty shootout win for Bolton. And they also played in the league at the start of the month. It was a 3-1 win for Bolton. Bolton looking for a hat-trick of wins this year. Actually, won't be this year. This season. Can they do it this time around? Mansfield on the back of that 2-1 win against Reading. Bolton with a 3-0 win over Lincoln. This one's tough, guys. This one's very, very tough. 7-5 is your Mansfield. 9-5 is your Bolton. 23-10 is the draw. I don't know. I think I might be going with Mansfield to take the win here. Yes, I am. 2-1 win. They'll break up that dynasty. Bolton are trying to do the 3-peat on Mansfield, but they're going to do it. I think Mansfield will hold firm and get the victory. None the same. Meanwhile, Northampton Town up against Stevenage. Northampton are under new managerialship with Kevin Nolan in charge. 19th in the table, 22 points for the campaign. Up against Stevenage under Alex Revel. They're a pretty formed team right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They're going under the radar. 14th in the table, 29 points for the campaign. Played to the 20 times since 2005. 13 wins for the Northampton. We got 4 wins Stevenage. There's been 3 draws between the 2 sides. The last time I played over at Sixfields, it was a 1 win for Stevenage back in August 2023. They've also played this season. It was a 2 win for Stevenage at Stevenage, who are actually unbeaten against Northampton over the last 4. Northampton, though, on the back of that 1-1 draw at Shrewsbury. Stevenage with that 3-0 win over Bristol Rovers in their own backyard. The odds for this one, 5-2 is your Northampton. Even Stevens is your Stevenage. 5-2 is a draw. New manager bounce perhaps on this one. Going to go with a 0-0 draw. Stevenage will be a little bit upset with that one. Northampton Town will just think it's another point in the bag under Kevin Nolan. Meanwhile, we have a game on our hands at Stockport County as they take on Birmingham City. That's right, David Chandler and Stockport. Just 1 win in 5. They are 5th at the table, 37 points for the campaign. Up against Birmingham under Chris Davies, 92% form for them. They are top, 49 points for the season. This will be Louis Barry's last game for Stockport County as they'll take on heavyweights Birmingham. Played 11 times since 1997. 3 wins Stockport, 7 wins Birmingham. 1 draw between the 2 sides. Birmingham have yet to lose in the last 9 matches, and they're coming at you having played Stockport last time around, but at this very venue back in December 2001. It was a 3-0 win for Birmingham, who won 3 on the spin against Stockport, including when they played at St Andrews. It was a 2-0 win at the start of December. So back-to-back clean sheets for Birmingham over Stockport, whose last victory at Birmingham was at Stockport back in March 2001. Stockport on the back of that 1-1 draw against Rotherham. Birmingham also drawing with Blackpool most recently, but back-to-back clean sheets. In fact, what we're looking at here, 4 clean sheets on the spin for Birmingham. Pretty airtight at the back. The odds here, 23-10 is your Stockport, 11-10 your Birmingham, 25 is the draw. I'm going for it, guys. You know where I'm going. Going to go with a 2-1 win Stockport County. Louis Barry, double, scoring for Stockport on loan from Aston Villa. And, of course, causing Birmingham a first loss of 2025. You'll see it here, guys. You'll see it. Meanwhile, Wigan are up against Huddersfield Town. Also a bit of a ding-dong classic. Of course, Wigan are struggling right now, though. 60th of the table, 27 points for the campaign. Just 1 win, though. I mean, 1 defeat in the last 4. Up against Huddersfield under Michael Duff. 4th in the table, just 1 defeat in the last 6. Played each other 14 times since 2002. 7 wins for Wigan, 4 wins for Huddersfield. There's been 3 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this venue, it was a 1-0 win for Wigan back in February 2023. That was in the Championship. They also played each other this campaign at the McAlpine. It was a 1-0 win for Huddersfield at the start of December. Huddersfield on the back of that 1-1 draw against Burton. Wigan did lose to Wrexham, lastminute.com on that game. The odds here, 21-10 is your Wigan, 6-5 is your Huddersfield, 12-5 the draw. That's a tough one, this one for Huddersfield. I want them to win, I really do, but I can't see. I just think Wigan will be too stubborn, too tough in their own backyard, and they'll cause a mini upset here with a 1-1 draw. So Wigan 1, Huddersfield Town 1, and then we are wrapping it up with a trip to Wycombe, that's right, as they take on Exeter City, that's right, at Adams Park. Wycombe under Matt Bloomfield on a bit of a slump right now. I'm going to say a slump, just 1 defeat in the last 4 matches. They are 3rd in the table, 47 points for the campaign, up against Exeter, and then Gary Caldwell, who are unbeaten in the last 3 matches, sitting in 13th with 31 points for the campaign. Played each other 25 times in 2008, 9 wins Wycombe, 8 wins Exeter, 8 draws between the two sides. The last time they played at this very venue, it was a 3-0 win for Exeter, who are unbeaten against Wycombe over the last 5, including a 2-2 draw at Exeter this campaign at the start of the month. Exeter, though, on the back of that 8-goal thriller, 4-4 against Crawley. Wycombe losing to Charlton at the Valley, goodness gracious me. 7-4 on is your Wycombe, 4-1 is your Exeter, 16-5 is the draw here. Wycombe bounce back ability here, 2-1 win, and maybe even into the top 2, depending on what goes on with, of course, Wrexham and Birmingham. That's right. What a start to 2025 that looks like. Absolutely thriller. And, of course, who knows, we'll be top of the table as we enter 2025. That's it. Don't forget to get your predictions in as well, 100% free. We'll see you there on the other side. And, of course, we look forward to seeing those predictions when we return. But until then, subscribe, smash the like. See you later. Happy New Year. Until then, we are done.